Hey, good morning. Today I'm going to show you how to connect and calibrate the Voxbox, basically everything from beginning to end. So I have to tell you that I've made this video a few times now, and the camera, the phone keeps deleting it, so I'm like at the end of my rope here. Plus, every night I come home from work and I work for a couple hours on this box. It's been really great. I've learned a lot and I've accomplished a lot. It's really something else. But at this point, I'm like so sick of it. I'm just so over it. I just want it to be done and completely out of the way. So this is just going to be one take because I'm tired of having to retake the video, or for whatever reason or whatever. This is just going to be everything all in one. I hope you don't get sick of my voice during this video, because at this point I am sick of my voice. Okay, so let's set this up as quickly as possible so that I can eat some breakfast, because I'm fucking hungry. Alright, so this is the breakout cable. This is where all of your audio connections connect to. The first step is to connect your microphone, which is, it's on line in left. Line in left is this jack right here. There's a little label on every jack. Line in left, and this is your microphone. Okay, the next step is to connect your headphones jack. The headphone jack, you will no longer plug headphones in here. Instead, you will plug in this custom cable that has a right angle connector. Plug that into here. All right? I usually tuck this in, to tidy it up. You could do whatever you want. On the other end, this is the other end of that cable. It's an XLR male. You plug this into the line in right. Line in right. Okay? Now plug in the mixer. This is Eckler output number 2. I should first tell you that out 2 should be turned up all the way to 10. Okay? So here's out 2. Let's plug it in to line in 3 and 4. All right. Go out of focus there. Line in 3 and 4, Eckler output 2. Okay. Next, we'll plug in your monitors. Now, for you, what I have done is I have made some jumper cables which will allow you to use your XLR cables that you currently use for your Yorkvilles, because you're going to use RCA to plug in the monitors. In my case here, I have this cable here. This is my studio monitors right here. Plug that in to line out 1 and 2, or should I say line out 1 and 2. Don't tell anybody that I kept my studio monitors turned on while plugging them in. I'll be the laughingstock of the audio community. Okay, so next step. We have this MIDI jack, which you want to plug into the back of your mixer. There's only one MIDI output port on the back of the Evo 4. Plug one end into that, and then plug the other end into your MIDI in. This is the MIDI in. There's a little Velcro cable tie on it just to mark it. Plug it in right here. Okay? Alright, so now you have everything that you need connected on the breakout cable. And put your breakout cable down here. Alright, take your Voxbox and set your stand height to wherever it has to be. You could put it anywhere behind the mixer. One thing that I wanted to note to you is that the headphones plug directly into the Voxbox. So I was going to say, try to keep it close to the mixer because of the headphone length. The headphone, you need to be able to reach comfortably to this unit. But I have procured for you an extra long headphone cable. This is like think this is like a 10-foot cable or something like that, or a 15-foot, I don't know what it is, but it's way longer than what you have. This will probably do you good if you need it. Okay, next step. Next step is to plug the USB cable in. Now, where is the USB cable? It's somewhere back here. I'll be damned if I'm restarting this video because I can't find a fucking cable. I've been through this video so many times. Where is it? Haha! Okay, alright. It just so happens here we have this very short USB cable. Plug into the sound card that's on the top. And then plug into the USB port, which is right above the letter E. Okay, so it should look like that. Next, plug your breakout cable into the top of the sound card. Okay, tighten these little thumb screws here. You don't have to tighten them too tight, just so that the breakout cable can never fall out. And then, tuck the breakout cable somewhere. Actually, here we'll disconnect the USB so we could just kind of tuck it behind here so that you can see what's going on. Good. Perfect. Okay. Next step, let's plug in the headphones. Here is the headphone cable that I have. So I plug that in right here. Yep. Next step, plug in your Ethernet cable. This is like an optional step, but I would suggest that you do it because it has some uses that are really good. So we plug in Ethernet, then plug in the power jack. Power jack is right below the Ethernet. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that there's this connector here. This is for a computer monitor. And you want to make sure that you do not plug the breakout cable into here because the pin pattern is exactly the same. I don't know what will happen. Maybe the unit will go up in flames. Maybe nothing will happen. I haven't a clue what would happen there. So just take special precaution when you're moving this thing around or reconnecting it that you don't plug into here. I'm not willing to experiment to see what happens because, just for obvious reasons. Okay, so now that we are completely connected, there is only one additional thing that I would ask you to do. And that is that this has to be plugged into your broadcasting computer. Since you have a sound card now, presumably, that has an optical input, I have given you a fiber optic cable. Now, the jack that you want is the white one. That's the optical output. So we're going to plug the fiber optic cable into optical output. All right. Then you're going to plug this end into the optical input on your Adderall card. In this case, here's my old Tascam, which we used for Sun and Base the year before. This thing was actually really good. Still love it. That's why I'm going to keep it. Here, let me just let me show you here so I could have two hands. All right. Plug into the optical input. All right. So we are all set. Now, before you continue here, I want you to take a close look at the Adderall card. I believe that there are some switches on the bottom of it. Adderall UA25EX. Let's see here. Okay, no, there's switches that are on the back of the unit. Let's see if we could find. There we go. Okay. The sample rate switch should be on 44.1. Compressor limiter should be on bypass all the way over here. Phantom can be turned off. Advanced driver can be turned off. I think that that's about it. You want to plug into the digital input, this guy here. that is the only thing that you will need to plug in. Anything that's currently plugged into the card, I would say that you should unplug it at this point. Okay. Now the next step that I would like you to do here is on your Evo 4 mixer. That you want to take channel 4 and switch this switch to MIDI because you are going to control the Voxbox using the MIDI functions on channel 4. So switch over to MIDI, and then the button that's going to activate the microphone is going to be PFL on channel 4, this one right here. Just note that the volume fader is no longer going to be responsible for anything, so it doesn't have to be set to any particular level. It is not going to have any function anymore. It's not going to do anything. Okay? Now, the next step that I want you to do is switch your Q section strictly to PFL and set your level to about 50%. This is about where it's calibrated to be. This is where it should be. So set those. All right, so now we're all set to go. Turn on the Voxbox. The Voxbox takes about 1 minute and 15 seconds to completely boot up and to start processing audio. What you could do here is to play a tune through the mixer. This is the AI record that we had earlier. So turn this up. This is about the right level here. When you have about 1 red light to 2 red lights, that's just approximating it. So it's going to take about 1 minute to boot up, and then you should hear music start coming through. Okay. And then we can continue. All right. Okay. I'm turning that down. Actually, here's what I'll do here. I want to show you how to calibrate the Voxbox. The first calibration is the booth monitors, which is when the first green light is on. So I will turn that down. I'm actually going to lift up the needle and stop playing the tune because I'm going to explain here that what I want you to do is to play a tune, and I want you to turn the booth monitor up on the Voxbox so that you are somewhere between this green and this orange. And then I want you to set it to the comfortable level that you typically mix at. That way, if you need to increase the volume a little, then you can increase to up here to red. This gives you like 2 or 3 clicks. That's good because if you need extra volume, or if your ear is getting fatigued towards the end of your set, most DJs always are playing at the end of their set much louder than when they start because their ear starts getting tired, that you have the ability to give a little bit of adjustment, a little bit of headroom to be able to do that. Likewise, if you need to turn down the monitors suddenly, then you could always rotate it down to the bottom and basically turn off the speakers temporarily. Somebody comes into the studio and needs to talk or something, you could just turn all the way down. So for now, I'm going to have it turned up at a very low volume because it's early in the morning here and I don't want to mess with the neighbors. I also want you to hear me when I talk on the video. So the next calibration, you want to press this button, it clicks. So press it once, and there is what it looks like when you calibrate the headphone volume. I want you to do the very same thing here. I want you to get the headphone volume to be comfortable. I want it to be comfortable at, around, the green, like the last green or orange. And then that way you can have some extra boost if you need it, and then you could turn it down if you need it. So what I would suggest that you do at this point is take your tune and pull your level down just for clarity here, and then put it into Q. All right, so your PFL button on the tune that you're going to play to calibrate, this should be engaged. So you have your mixer set in Q, your level at 50%, you have this channel in Q that you're going to play, and then you could hear it's coming through the headphones. All right, so from here you can adjust the headphone volume up or down. Okay. Now, what I wanted to mention real quick is that with this headphone volume setting, this function here, when there's these lights, that there seems to be like a very high-pitched squeal through the headphones.